Chat, see you soon. Oh, yeah. It's trucking time. We got some air drums. All right. Let's get those air drums going, everybody. Hey, hey, I'm simfamous and we're live. We're going to get the music down. We're going to get in the truck. And we're going to get on the road. All right, buttons. Da, da, da. We got to wait till the music got the right stop, right? Oh, yeah. Boom. Welcome to DJ's studio. No, I'm not a DJ, and nor do I have a studio. That being said, we are live with some more American Truck Simulator and a new series that I think I'm going to enjoy, and hopefully you might enjoy. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let me explain what we got going on. In American Truck Simulator, or ETS2, you can drive for multiple companies. You can drive for yourself. You can mix it up, do all kinds of different things. I thought, why not pretend? Hold on. Why not pretend that we're someone that maybe we just got our CDLs and we just got hired on at a major company in American Truck Simulator. And so I thought, what company am I going to start with first if I'm going to do this roleplay? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do Caliper Motors because it's over in Kansas. It's kind of midway. You know, we can go, once the East Coast is here, we'll be able to head out east. We got the West Coast we can go. We got north, south. You know, we're kind of a good location. So basically, we're going to pretend that we are hired on with Caliper Motors. They have supplied us with a brand new KW T680 Kenworth, okay? And it's got, I think, 113 miles on it. So it's pretty low mileage truck. And I thought, we're just going to drive this guy, make it our own. Maybe throughout this series, we'll get some stickers made up, get some Caliber Motors decals put on, something like that. Maybe, might be kind of neat. We'll kind of have to see how that goes in the future. And then we will also do like convoys, things in that nature and stuff as well. With this type of, maybe we all can work at Caliber Motors. I'm not really sure. We'll see how that works out. But that being said, we are here and we need to get our first job started. We do have everything in the description so you can check out for yourself kind of the ideal we're doing. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have the YouTube feed up and that everything is working. Appears to be fantastically A-OK. All right, got that checked. So what we're going to do, let's get in the truck here. Let's go ahead and fire it up. We got it set up with some things in here. You know, we got a couple hats. We've got our overnight bags, headphones, keep our ears safe, power inverter, you know, for in case we need an extra cooler or something. Got a coffee or AK energy drink, whatever you want to have there. We're pretty much all set up in that sense, you know. Let's go ahead and fire the rig up. But before we do that, let's check our mileage. So on this series, what I would like to do is keep up with our mileage. So when we do when we pull in for fuel, let's see what our mileage is when we fill up, and we'll keep that on the piece of paper here until I'm able to get maybe a nice little notepad with something that makes more sense. All right. So that being said, we are at 113 miles on the truck. So we're going to go ahead and put down 113 miles, which is what we have on the truck as our starting. It's what they give the company give us the truck at. It is not our truck, basically. It is the company's truck. We're working for them. So, but it is a brand new truck. So we're going to keep up with the mileage as of right now and just kind of see how that goes. Like basic stuff that you would keep up with as you're driving your own rig in real life, maybe. We'll see how that goes. You guys can help educate me as we get that going. So let's get the pin put away. We got our mileage wrote down. Let's go ahead and fire the rig up and let it sit here and warm up. Make sure we have oil pressure. Oil pressure is good. Everything looks good there. Let's sit here and let it run for a minute. Everything's looking good there. Everything's checking out. 6:56 a.m. in the game. Metro Master says, "Hey Sim and chat, how we doing today? Just getting started. Check this out. I just wrote down the mileage. We got 113 miles on a brand new truck here. Got it written down on the piece of paper because what I'm doing is I'm pretending that I just got hired for Caliber Motors. And they put us in a new truck, and we're going to drive this truck all the time. We're going to take loads from Caliber Motors, work strictly for them, as if we got hired on in real life. And I think it's going to be fun. Instead of switching it up from time to time, we're just going to say a dedicated driver, a dedicated company. I think it's going to be pretty neat. Now, we will switch up companies from time to time and do, similar things, but with other companies as the game gets newer. And check out special trucks and things as it comes in. We might have to do, maybe we'll pretend that this truck is going in for maintenance, and then we got to pull out another truck, which could be the new truck that gets released or something, But that being said, this is the rig they got us hooked up with a brand new Kenworth. And it's only got 113 miles. Yes, a virtual trucking company. Except the virtual trucking company, instead of being my virtual trucking company, is an actual virtual trucking company in the game. So, and as I progress, hopefully some people who I know that can make skins and stuff, we can also get the Caliber Motors put on the side of the rig type deal. I have it as Max 001 is my truck number, since my dog is Max. Oh, speaking of that, because we have the truck number as Max 001, we need to put that on here. It's a KW, and then the truck number is Max -001. There you go. It's going to be kind of hard to read. I'll get all that figured out there. But yeah, so we're starting with 113 miles. And we're only going to do long hauls, which I'm going to do anything over, I'm going to say anything over 600 miles, we're going to consider a long haul in the game. But that could be anywhere from 600 to 6,000. Okay? It just depends on what we got going on in the game. So I think it's going to be pretty neat. And then as I go along, I'm going to do other things too as I learn about trucking. You know. Oh, and we also need. This is our first day at work in the game, so we're 0 days without an accident, right? So I'm going to need somebody to help keep up with that. Uh, and what would qualify as an accident is if we hit a car, because we're not actually paying attention. If a car hits us because we know AI gets weird, we're not even going to count that, but type deal. You know what I mean? So, that being said, we're here at Caliber Motors. Let's go ahead and let's give you guys a tour of the shop. And we'll take you around the shop before we get in the job. Let's get our brakes off. And let's go around. If you've never been here, let's take a tour of the facility and let's show you what all we have here at Caliber Motors. So we have the auto shipping department, which is right here behind us. Okay. Not only do we ship cars, trucks, anything with wheels. We also have another division right here to our left. I'm going to take you through. Let's wait on this car here. That might be Randy coming through, CEO. He drives Cadillac. Anyway. Let's take you back here to the shipping department. So we're not only going to haul cars, we're going to haul a bunch of other things too. We will also do this in convoy mode as well. But I am today officially starting the very first full-time job at Caliber Motors in American Truck Simulator. So yeah, here's another part of the company we have. You can come back here and pick up all types of different loads from here. And we're going to take you around to the front office. There's secret hidden roads around the front as well. I'm going to show you those. These will be places that we can meet up when we do convoys. You guys can pull in. You can see back here we got the shipping yards. And the reason why I want to do this, get to know this truck, get to know this company, everything that's here, all the little extra details that ATS has put in. Check out the bays, walk up those bay doors eventually. Check out these forklifts, which are strangely getting more detailed here lately. Let's take you around to the front of the building because we're going to be working here out of this company for a while. And so, like today, whatever job we pick up as a driver, when we say we're going from here to Texas or whatever other state, speed limit through shops 15 below. So we got to try to stay under 15. Driving around the shop area too. But it's going to be a pretty neat little experience. Let's take you around to the front, show you the employee entrance and stuff. In case you guys have never seen this, it's a pretty nice spot. Now, speed limit on this road's 25, but when you're inside the dock areas, they want to say 15 or below. We do have an alternative parking area over here. Let's go around to the front. If any of you watching are NVIDIA, make sure to check. There was an NVIDIA update today for the graphics card, by the way. All right, I'm gonna take you. We'll take you around this direction here. I'm gonna show you another spot you can come in over this way. We're gonna go out the employees gate on this side. I'm gonna show you another entrance. We gotta swipe our employee card here as we leave. And little swipage. Metro Master says it's a big complex. Oh yeah, it's a big spot. We'll show you this billboard they got over here. We're gonna make a left here, but check out this billboard in case you guys have never seen this. Caliber Motors. For precision, aims high, and ignites the road. That's their slogan here. Caliber Motors. I gotta try and memorize that though. I don't have that in my head yet. Alright. I'm gonna make a left turn here. Metro Master says swipage. I love it. Swipage reminds me of Swiper, no swiping. I used to watch Dora the Explorer with my kids when they were little. Alright, let's take you over into one side of the employee parking. Now this is going to be a place that we can come over and stage at as well. This is where you come put your application in and you apply for the job and stuff. They got a bunch of different positions in here, factory, you know, warehouse divisions. You know, they got it, you know, but we're on the driver's side, so that's what we're here for. You can drive through the parking lot if you want. We're gonna take you left right here. The beautiful wifey comes in with a massive $20 super chat. Look at you, honey bunny. You didn't have to do that. Now, I don't know if I can go right here. I haven't checked. Let's check while we're here, and then we'll know for future. There's team members only entrance. I don't know if we can go to this parking lot. This may be closed off. And if it is closed off, we'll say this is for the executives or something. Can we go over here? We got JBM Gaming with what's happening, people. No, we cannot go over there. Hi, JBM. We're actually here starting our very first role play situation of I'm pretending that I am a full-time employee of Caliber Motors, just got hired as a driver. They hooked me up with a brand new truck with just 100 and some miles on it. And we're taking a little tour of the facility right now. I will also be using this on convoy mode eventually as well. So you guys can come in and you can pretend you work for Caliber Motors as well, or whatever company you may be working for. There's the flags. They got the American flag. There's the offices, the guest lobby. You got another team member entrance there. JBM says, I've been doing the Halloween event. It's really cool. I've got to check it out. I've been seeing a lot of good things about it. All right, we're gonna head back over and let's go pick up our first run as a full-time Caliber employees driver, right? And like I said, some of the plans in the future is to get the truck painted up with like caliber motors and stuff. You never know, we might change the wheels and stuff. We might have the front bumper painted. You know, but like I said, it is a company truck. It's a company truck, so we'll have to get all the improvements employed from the company, or improved. What did I just say? That didn't make any sense. It didn't make any dollars either. That's even worse. God, I'm terrible at these jokes. All right, so let's head back over to the shop. They were coming in, so. But you know what? I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? Let's see. Can we pull over in here? Let's check it out, chat. We're still taking a tour of the facility here. Yeah, so you could pull over here like a waiting area. Let's go to the outside. Say you got to get your paper out to get into the gate and all that stuff. You could pull over here. Scat Pack says, I don't know why my algorithm keeps sending me to this thing called some simfamous. I don't want to be here. You know, that's the thing. It's like a magnet. You know, it's like it just, you know, and you put two magnets together and it does that thing where it just doesn't quite go together, but you still try to put them together. It's like, you know, it's like that. You know, it's basic science. Weird science. Don't say anything too much. I might get calm down when we get copyrighted. I'm very animated with the hands. Are you guys looking at the hands? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Welcome, Scatbag, back into the situation. Helen says, Sim, surprised. I was totally surprised. The beautiful wifey sent me a $20 super chat. Are you flirting with me? I think she's flirting with me. I think she's flirting with me, fellas. Speaking of flirting, let me have some Diet Coke. I'm thirsty. Not sponsored, just enjoy the beverage. Helen says, Sims, how's the woof woofs? I haven't even taken a drink yet and I'm already choking myself. Scatback says, yeah, man, things have been busy. Things have been good. Helen says, Sims, how's the woof woofs? They are somewhere in the living room hanging out, doing something. But that is fantastic to hear, Scatpack. That is super awesome to hear. Let's get us over into the employee entrance here. And if you're just joining the stream, I'm simfamous. And then there's leaves on the ground. And then today is my first day as a Caliber Motors long-term, full-time driver. I'm going to be driving from the same company with the same truck for a little while now as like a role play thing. Looks like, oh man, traffic picks up. Let's see, what time is it here? 8:14 a.m. Looks like a lot of these people are late. That dude especially just ran through there, was late. We're trying to get in here. We're trying to go to work too. But this is part of the role play. We're stuck trying to get into work. Once we get into work, we got to go see what our job is. And then we got to go to complete the job. I'm trying to roll out here in traffic here. Looks like maybe after this brown car here we can go. Hey, I'm trying to get to work just like you, man. Helen says, Sim, where are we at? We are in Kansas. Matter of fact, while we're here in traffic, let me get straightened up. Hey, I'm driving here. Let's pull up the map. I'll show you exactly where we're based out of. For those wondering, we're in Kansas City, right over in this area here. And then this is where we're going to be based. Let's back to driving. And we're just trying to get into work. You know, we took everybody, showed them around. This is a really big facility here in the simulator. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, okay. Okay. Just okay. Oh, I hate this is what I hate about it. You know what? There is an entrance for truckers. I probably should take it. Oh, look, now he's backing up. What is this dude's deal? Is he going to say something? Oh, he's just doing it now to be a jerk. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, ooh, road rage. Road rage at ATS. Oh, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? I didn't do that. They did that. You got to be kidding me. This is too real. This can't be my first day at work. This can't be my first day at work. We're going to have to go around. I can't. I can't. Oh, it's what? How does ATS know? Oh God, the police are gonna be here in a minute. I'm just trying to. This is my first day on the job. Uh, let's get checked in. Craziness. Scatback says, "Hey man, don't know if you saw my last message. I didn't make it back down to North Carolina, but I got back in television. I got a new gig with NBC. Hey, fantastic news, man. That's so awesome. Let's grab the old horns. Shout out to Scatback. I knew something good was going to happen, my dude. That's awesome. Oh, I gotta slow down. I'm getting a little too fast here. I think it's 15. As fast as they want you going around this road here. I can't remember if it's 15 or 20. Can you guys believe that we saw that crazy road rage incident right as soon as we got started? That was, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. JBM says, "What a jerk." I know, right? I can't believe it. JBM says he's good. All right, so I think for our first job, we're gonna start over in the motor division. We're gonna see what our very first trip is. Out of here. We got to check in. There is a facility on the backside too. We might have to pick up back there. We'll see. Let's go check in. And let's see if we can get to work. Use your own truck and load the freight. So we got a load of trucks going to Colorado. Load of cars going to Omaha. And some recreational vehicles going to Raton. I think we're going to do, we're going to go from here to the Pueblo, Colorado. We're going to take this as our first job. JBM says, did I tell you I had to buy a new shifter? The old Logitech refused to go into reverse. I've been having some issues with mine doing that too. I tried to get it into reverse and sometimes it won't. It's kind of weird. But I also have that in the game with different weird things as well. All right, here is our trailer. Let's go ahead and get our windows down. Good there. First day at work, man. It's good stuff. Let's go forward. I'm gonna have to adjust my mirrors before we get out of here too, chat. We're gonna do all that. We gotta do a walk around and things too. I need to get my printer up and running so I can print off some driver checklists. I like to have some checklists that I can have here on the, I guess I could do digital. I could do that. Yeah, I guess download like some PDF files and just be able to show you guys, do like a checklist and a walk around. That'd be kind of cool, right? I need to get over a little bit. I'm going to try to incorporate as much sort of realism as I can. This truck here, it's a new truck. It's an automatic, and I'd like to get an automatic shifter setup, like on the dash thing or something. So when I'm using an automatic, I can have like a push button or something, and then when I'm using an 18 speed, I can use this. It'd be kind of cool. Just for like, I mean, it's not a need, it's just a want. You know what I mean? It's just like another toy to the thing. Easy. All right, we're there. But neutral. And I'm gonna try to remember things like, okay, there's my brakes, got those pulled, right? And see like how we have this here says reverse, neutral, and drive. It'd be cool to have like a push button thing like that, you know. JBM says I switched over the 18 speed gear knobs as well. I have news also. I've started a JBM gaming merch. Nice. JBM says use the shifter in third for forward and fourth for reversed. Oh, you can do that? I did not know yet. I didn't. Huh. I guess that makes sense, huh? You could set it up like that, right? I mean, I do have it's like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? But so what I'd like to have too is like, you know how this attaches onto the shifter? It'd be cool if you had like a square thing like that with push buttons, drive, reverse. Maybe you could put on that and then you just push this forward and it stays there in that position, and then you could press your buttons. That might be kind of cool. Something unique. If somebody makes that, I want 10%. Because that's a pretty cool idea, I think. Anyway. Scat Pack says, Sim, can I ask you a quick question? How are you driving for one single company? I asked because I was going to try the same thing with Swift. So what I'm doing is basically just pretending that. So I took let me show you. I got a plain truck. I decided on Caliber Motors because they have a pretty good like shop you can drive around. And then so I'm just going to do only jobs out of here that go from here to different places, and only jobs that go from there back to here. And then I'm going to do things like I wrote down the mileage. So when we did the start of the stream, I wrote down 113 miles is what the truck started with. Now the truck has 121. So, and now we're hooked up, right? So we're going to put the truck trip. Okay. I know it's hard to see. We're going to put trip S for start, and we're at 121 miles. Oh, 121 miles. And when we stop for fuel, we're going to write down the fuelage, and we're going to see how many miles we can get on this brand new truck just working for this company. And this is going to be our everyday job. Like, every time I stream, unless I'm featuring something, I'll be doing work for this company for a while. And then hopefully, as it progresses, I got to pull this down and grab this guy. Let me get us out of gear here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off for now. Oh, JBM comes in with the 10 gifted memberships. Oh, thanks so much, my dude. And if you happen to pick up a membership by JBM, make sure to go say thank you. So I've got the keyboard down here in hands. And what we're going to do is we got our starting mileage set up. Let me go to this. Let's go walk around mode. Right? Let's go to walk around mode. Once again, shout out to JBM for the awesome memberships. Let's go back here. Now let's make sure this is our trailer. Let's see, do these trailers have a number on them? And if so, we'll write it down. I don't know if they do or not. Okay, so it does have a license plate. So, okay, what I want to do, this is Kansas. This is going to be our trailer number, right? So, we got our truck number is Max 001. And our trailer number is going to be 022688 that we picked up today, okay? I know it's hard to see. Boom, there it is. That is our trailer number. And I'm going to mark that. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare that, like, say the next time we pick up a load of cars here, do we have the same trailer number, or are we taking a new trailer? And let's see if they repeat as well. Let's do a quick walk around here of the trailer before we get it hooked up. That is our trailer. We've got 1, 2, 3 trucks on board. That is our shipment. JBM says, I'm sure someone out there makes a auto shift box or use a small generic button box and set the buttons to suit. That I do have a flight control box I might use. Not a, yeah, well, it's the, what is it called? It's a SciTech, something like that. Throttles. It's got some buttons on it. I could configure that. We'll see. I might have an idea. Trailer tires are good. Lights are there. And let's have them hook up everything. All right, trailer has been hooked up. Everything is set there. Let's check these cables. Everything is secured and tight. Now we're going to do kind of, a full, not a full walk around, but we're going to do some things. And as I learn more, we'll incorporate that into the stream as well. Can you believe we've already been streaming for 48 minutes and I haven't even left the yard yet? This is too real. Troy says, "Are we doing a convoy today, Simfamous?" Not today, but so the next one of these, I'm not really sure which one, but I'll put it in the title. If you see, it'll be pretty much this same title, something similar to Caliber Motors. But once you see Convoy in the title, you'll know that that's open for everybody to join. So lights look good. Headlights look good. Let's check tires. Running the Goodyear tires. So these are brand new tires, so everything should be good. Sneak under here, check these tires. These tires look really good. Dog's barking. I think we got a delivery from Amazon. These tires look good. That looks good. All right, chat, let me go grab this delivery from Amazon here. I want you guys to finish looking over the trailer for me. When I get back, let me know if it's good, okay? I'll be right back. All right, chat. Amazon order has been received, which was just dog pads because we have carpet and we put down dog pads so the dogs can use the restroom and then we clean it up. How's the trailer? Everything looking good? JBM says the next trailer will have out of state tags from where you begun. Nice. Troy says your trailer looked good and truck looked good too. Fabulous. All right. Well, since we're all hooked up, looks like we're ready to go. I guess we got no choice but to get in the truck. Let's get it fired up. Oh, yeah. Our windows up. And let me check my paperwork here. We've got 800, or no, not 800. It is 8:36, or no, 9:14 a.m. Can't read my own stuff over here. And we have 594 miles to go. So it should be a fun little trip. JBM says, well, I wish I could join, right? I think this is going to be a pretty fun convoy ideal, too. Just to work for a company. And which would be kind of neat, too. Like when I start this convoy up with a company idea like this, everybody can join in at different times because people get to work at different times. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense, right? I think that makes sense. Now, I guess in theory, you know, you could always start a convoy at any time too, right? How does that work? That brakes coming off. Looking good. Make sure we're pulling out easy there. Looking fine, looking fine. There's no cars beside us. I'm looking at my mirrors here. Looking good. Let's watch traffic. Oh, we gotta have hazards on till we get out of the yard. When we're loaded, they want you to have the hazards on. I feel like that'd be a real thing. JBM says, I still say we should start our own VT and I'll be the European division. You could be like, you could start like, do a version of what I'm doing, but whatever the European version of Caliber Motors is. You know what I mean? Like a subsidiary. And I think we got to stay under 20 back here. I'll eventually get all these rules. I'll have them wrote out and stuff, and I'll pin them up beside my desk here that I'm playing on, or not my desk. It's a gaming rig. Let's go to the outside. Safety first here at Caliber Motors. Make sure that window's up. JBM says, I'll be honest, I have no idea who moves new cars here on a big scale. Well, now, I don't know who does cars on a big scale in America. I'm just pretending that I got hired for Caliber Motors here, and they do like cars, and they also do other types of things as well. So whatever company is like that over there would be cool. All right, we got to watch over here. Watch our traffic. Mirrors look good. But we're headed out of the yard here, which is pretty cool. We're headed over to Colorado. Troy says, are you in companies now? What do you mean by, am I in companies? Okay, we're clear that way. I need to get me like an employee badge card. So when I go through these things like this here, I can show it up to you guys and pretend like you guys are scanning the employee card and gets me through the gate. I need to get that. I'll work on that tonight. Like, so where we're going right now, I press enter. I'll show you guys the card. You know, by that time, set the card down, gate opens, we're out. Okay, once we're out of the gate, we're allowed to turn the hazards off. And we are officially at work. Work time starts when we get out the gate. So it took us 58 minutes, just because I gave you guys a tour of the shop area and all that to get started. I don't think that'd be a typically start time before you do your first load, but we'll kind of see how it goes. And I'm really going to try, other than for like cinematic purposes, there's going to be times to where I do, when I back in a trailer, I will just do in cab only. And then there'll be a time, like if it's pretty cinematic or something, we'll do an outside view. Or if I'm just having a hard day, I can't get it back in. But I think we should be fine for the most part. But we're on the road now, and so the next stop is 592 miles away. Helen says, Sim, did you finish the burrito? No, I didn't finish the burrito yet. I'm going to have that after the stream, maybe. Starting a company here at Flavor Fair would be another good idea for somebody, too. That would be a fun thing to do. Let's see. I think I need to stay in this lane. Is this the exit I take? I feel like this is right? Yeah, okay. Oh, hey, chat. Oh, 1 second. JBM says I had to go take my S2000 back. He hadn't done anything in it at all, almost 5 months. When I collected it, I found out he took a stroke, so it'll be back here till December 1st, and then go to another shop. Well, I'm glad you got it back. Sorry to hear that he had some misfortunes there with his health as well. Kind of a rough situation all around, huh? I think I need to get over. Helen says, Sim, that Cafe Rio has lots of food. I like that. I would eat it. I would eat it again. So, chat, I have a tablet. I've been seeing that you can take the GPS and put it on a tablet now. Is that correct? And if so, how do I do that? Because I would like to have the GPS on a tablet. That would really help out for just, it's not a need. It's just convenience, a want, a little more realism, I guess. I'll watch this traffic through here. There was people there painting the graffiti. JBM says I'll have to look. 2 minutes. All right. Yeah, I've been seeing some sort of thing. It's like you can add your GPS onto a tablet. And since I have a tablet, I thought that'd be kind of cool. I do have an extra cell phone. I could add it onto a cell phone as well. But we have a tablet here that belongs to the beautiful wifey here that we're not really using a whole lot, but it'd be cool to kind of incorporate it into the sim rig if we're going to have it here. Helen says it's new. Yeah, it's brand new, and I thought, if we're going to have it here, we could try to use it somehow into that. All right, I'm going to take you outside. We are on the road, chat. My first day as a Caliber Motors driver. Got a brand new truck. And now that we're doing this, that doesn't mean that all the time I'm just going to be locked into doing this. I'm still going to feature, the extended Peterbilts and all those fun stuff. All way stations, we're not going to stop at all those. We're going to stop at one of those, maybe a trip, because that's just a little bit more realism. We'll pretend that we can just bypass most of these, and we'll stop at certain ones. Because in the game, I feel like you have to stop too much at way stations, and we're not going to worry about that. We're gonna stop at our leisure. Oh yeah, this is when we have to stop at. That way we can keep the flow going. You know what I mean? And when we hear the beep, we'll just pretend, okay, that's the money going into the the easy pass or something. Helen says it's new, can't return it, and it's ours. All right, chat. We're on the road. And remember, once we get to our destination and we drop off the trailer, we have to write down our mileage at the end of the trip. And when we fuel up, we have to write down our mileage of when we fueled up to and how many gallons of fuel we put in it. So we got to do all those things. Metro Master says, yep, the game is a little crazy with the way stations. You either get to go without any stops or you stop at most all of them. Yeah, it's a little too much, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go on the air of realism and just kind of go with a little bit different flow. Just like here, we're able to get over and let this truck that's coming out, like real life, out of that rest area without, getting up to speed or slowed down. Like if that rest area was a way station, so to speak. Because not every truck stops at those. You see that on the road in real life. So, we're just pretending we got some sort of pass or something. We got Mr. Nessie with, hey guys. What's happening, Mr. Nessie? Scat Pack says, when I set up the new profile and just drive for Swift, I'm going to try and make it as realistic as possible. Nice. See, I thought about doing Swift as well in this same situation because Swift is in Arizona and I live in Arizona, so it only makes sense, right? But I was like, I'm just going to stick with an ATS company for me. That way, I don't know, I thought that'd be kind of neat, and then maybe I'll get like a Caliber Motors skin made up for the truck. Put that on the doors, type deal. All right, let's go ahead and lock the cruise in at the old double nickel 55 here. Got that locked in. Let's take it to the outside. Just joining the stream, I'm simfamous. And we just about wrecked. We just started our first day working for Caliber Motors. And it got us in a brand new truck here. 220 miles on it now. JBM Gaming comes in with a question mark. Oh, I turned the cruise off. Let me get that back on. Cruise is set. Oh, I need to look up what engine I have in this too. I want to memorize the engine and the transmission I have in it, just for my own sake. JBM says I answered your question. Was it about the tablet? Because I never saw anything here on my side of the chat. Jamin says, yes, I replied twice. But I haven't seen any. The only thing I've seen is the question mark. The question mark and then just what's past that. Oh, I'm about to miss the turn. New driver. New driver. All right, what is this, a roundabout here? Okay. Javian says you need Sim Dashboard app. Oh, okay. I'll look into that Sim Dashboard app. You know what? I've had that before on my one of my phones. I bet you need the paid version though. I've had the free version. I'll check into that. JBM says, I PM'd you details. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. I'll check those out. And another reason why I want to do like a dedicated driver for a company is just see where all they send you. JBM says there's 3 ways of doing it. I need to get over here. There's no traffic. Clear this way. We are clear. All right, we're looking good down through here. Oh, that's a nice little spot there. It's got a like little barn area. I bet that's going to be a place we deliver to or pick up from one day. That has to be coming up. I saw some new bus stops in Arizona that I haven't seen before. Speed limit 50. All right, we can get it up a little bit here. Get over. Scat Pack says, as a new driver, I'm just going to do short trips to begin with. Nice. So you work in the short haul division? I'm working the Caliber Motors long haul division. Scat Pack, I'm excited that you got hired on with Swift, man. Congratulations. Glad you got hired on with Swift. You know, Swift is a big, major company. Like, they're, I think, the biggest trucking company in America. Scat Pack says, yes, I'm trying to be realistic and work my way up, earn enough money to buy my own rig. Nice. See, I like role play things like that too, you know? And see, why you're doing that, like if you start a new profile and you make it to where, you know, it's harder to make money or whatever, and you work up to it, that also, it gives you a chance to be like, okay, what truck you're going to work for, or is it going to be like the new truck that, say, whatever ATS comes out with? You're like, oh, you know, and while you're saving your money in the game, like I said, for example, you might want a Peterbilt, right? But then there's a new a new Mack truck that comes out, and you're like, you want that, and you can't make up your mind. But while you're working in the game to save up, you know, you can sort of figure it out, you know? I would even like to, like, it's getting like a little bit cooler weather here. I would like to have like a Caliber hoodie to wear, you know, when I play the game. Like, that'd be kind of cool to have hoodies of the companies in the ATS, or have shirts, or have something, you know, that represents the company that you're working for that's in the game. Type deal. Helen says, Sim, does Max know that you names after him? I think he has an idea. Scat Pack says, yes, and this is my 3rd profile, and working from scratch again is going to drive me nuts. Well, that's the thing about trucking. Wouldn't in real life trucking be kind of stressful? Well, there you go. Now you got that RP life. The only mod I'm only using one mod, and that is the Slav Jerry's 156 mini engine pack, or whatever I think it's called. That's the only mod that I'm using right now. Other than that, it's all ATS. So far, we're 0 days on the job without an accident. So, let's see how many days in a row we can go without an accident. See how many days Swift goes. Take you outside and get a look around. Whoop, whoop, get over here. Company truck life, man. Scatpack says LOL. Oh boy. Alright, let's do a mileage check-in. We got 390 miles to go, chat. We out here working. Sim, or crazy, that's me. Helen says, Sim, who is the co-driver? Probably gonna be Jesus if I keep talking like that. I'm gonna run this truck off the road accidentally, because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. I keep saying the wrong thing, man. Yeah. There is no co-driver today. All the dogs are gone. They're in the living room. Scatpack says, tonight I'm going to rearrange my whole driving area. Nice. What you got in mind? I had to, I ordered some Velcro and a, you know how you have like the USB extenders? I ordered one that holds 7 things. That way I can, because right now I have one that only holds 4. I have a USB extender that holds 4, and I need 3 more. And right now, I currently, when I switch from flying rigs to trucking rigs, I currently have to unplug the steering wheel and shifters and all that, and that's just more wear and tear on the cable. And this steering wheel I've had for like 5 years. The end of it, the cable's starting to go bad, so I have to hold it. Has to be held in a certain position, or this wheel won't work because it's got a bad connection. So I'm eventually going to have to get a new wheel for the future here. I just don't know what I'm going to get. Because the old Logitech, even though it's working, she's holding on. You know what I mean? And I'm going to run it till it doesn't work anymore. But if you happen to see the steering wheel, like if my game just pauses or the steering wheel goes in a circle by itself and I go, hey, what's going on? That means that little cable's moved and I gotta push it back. That's kind of the ideal of it. Let me get up to 55. All right, cruise is set. I'm gonna let that roll. Let's grab the old Diet Coke here. Not sponsored, just enjoy the beverage. It's a little harder to drive with one hand. I got to get a couple cup holders. So what you guys can't see on the view here is like the full left to right of what I have this setup on. I need a couple cup holders, but I have the beautiful wifey has this little like TV tray thing made for couches that you slide underneath the couch that I'm using to hold the drinks and extra activity stuff on, you know, controllers and whatnot. Oh, chat. Who has Twitch here? Does anybody that's watching have Twitch? I got my Twitch set up. And um, as soon as I get the extra money, which is $27, as soon as I get the extra money, because I play next week, I got 3 shows coming up next week. Uh, I'm going to purchase Streamlabs Ultra, which is going to allow me to do. I've had this before, but I've never used these options. I'm going to purchase the Streamlabs Ultra because I want to check it out and give a review of it for you guys. But also, I'm going to do the vertical streaming, and that way you can see more of my rig. And I'm also going to do the streaming that you see now. But I'm going to be able to stream to YouTube and to Twitch at the same time. So we're going to be doing some test streams of that maybe next week, at the end of next week, once I get paid from the shows as a guitarist I'm doing. I've had the Streamlabs Ultra before, but I want to try it again with the vertical streaming. Just to try it out and be able to stream to Twitch at the same time and be able to see the chat. I got to work all that stuff out. And I'll be able to switch it up and stream to X and a bunch of other streaming platforms. But yeah, I want to give that a try and just see what it's like. There's also another thing called Stream Shift, and it's supposed to be able to switch between devices without ending your stream or losing viewers. And I don't know if that means you could, in theory, I could switch from, like, I'm streaming on my PC, and let's say that, like, I pull over the truck and I'm going to make some coffee or something. I could take and have on my phone and be able to switch to a camera view, and we could go make some coffee or something, you know, like you would do in a truck. You know what I mean? So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. I also have some situations coming up to where doing this particular style of roleplay where we work for the same company, I'm going to be able to take where we get in the back of this truck, like on breaks, and watch movies and stuff. If you've seen one of my YouTube short videos, you've sort of seen, like, be able to watch TV in a truck. That's going to be coming on part of this series as well. Mr. Nessie says the sky's the limit. According to the Flight Simulator, the sky may not be the limit. And I'm saying, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying, but you get the gist. There was a new NVIDIA update driver, and I'm kind of getting some weird shimmies, I guess. Oh, look, there's a train, Metro. What's up, train? Ha. Running with the trains, man. So if people were going to drive for companies and companies that are in American Truck Simulator or ETS2, what companies do you think people would drive for more? Do you think people would drive more for, like, refrigerated haulers, low boys, you know, where you could haul the tractors and things? Or would people, you know, like, if you could ask a bunch of people, like, if you could pick one job in American Truck Simulator out of, you know, hauling cattle, hauling cars, the reefers, the tarps, the flatbeds, you know, what do you think would be the number one? You know, box trailers, heavy haul division, you know what I mean? Well, we got two cops together here. I don't ever remember seeing that. Metro Master says, for me, it would be general cargo and box trailers. Nice. Mr. Nessie says, I like the low boys. Okay. Baseball, Dodge City. Scat Pack says, to be honest, I would really like to haul gas. I love driving tankers. As a matter of fact, as I grow, I might switch over, like I'm leaving Swift to go to Exxon. Nice. See, I like those type of roleplay ideals too. You know, like, you know, you could build a big enough community as well, right? Let's say you build a big enough community as, like, someone like me who enjoys the streaming part. And eventually, let's say that ATS has servers, you know, where you can have, you know, hundreds of players on, which I know there's servers like that now, but let's say ATS has their own servers where you can be like Flight Simulator, where everybody can be online at one time, right? In a sense. It would be pretty neat, like, if you could role play, like, I work for Caliber Motors, but yet, because I'm a streamer, and then, so you guys may want to, let's say, show your support on a live stream for me in a convoy. You guys will also work for, say, Caliber Motors or whatever company I'm working for. And let's say that Scat Pack is a streamer, or he decides to start streaming some stuff one day, right? And he is driving, and he's role-playing Swift. You know, we could do a role-play of, like, one day to where I'd be like, hey, Scat Pack, I'll give you X amount of dollars in game dollars, right? Not real money, just pretend money. If you come over and work for Caliber, you know, what would it take to get you as a Caliber employee? You know, just for like role playing stuff, you could do things like that within you guys' own type of communities or different things as well. And see, eventually, like, and I'm thinking, like, you know how you have GTA 5 roleplay? I'm thinking, like right now, you could drive down the road, and you didn't have to worry. Let's say that you have hundreds of people online, and now you have cars in the game, right? Well, some of you guys could be emergency roadside vehicles. So, if I'm driving down the road and I run out of gas because I'm in a spot that I can't make it, and I'm online with hundreds of players, or, you know, enough players to where they're role playing, you guys could be emergency response vehicle, come out, pretend to refuel me, you know, like you guys are live streaming or playing your own game in your own world, right? I think that would be a pretty neat thing to start incorporating, and I would like to build to that as a community, you know, and just have it to where we have like a big, huge GTA sort of role play thing that you see people do with police and cops and all this stuff, but we have that in ATS, you know, and you guys have your own thing. Some of you are truckers, some of you are police officers, some of you work at way stations, some of you work at gas stations, some of you work as tow truck drivers once there's tow trucks in the game, or, you know what I mean, mods that we can use. You know, some of you work at the shop and you replace oil or something, you know, you do maintenance. Who knows what the possibilities can be? And I think this is a great time to start sort of coming up with these virtual worlds, because the game is growing, right? And that's floating. Yeah, so I think there's some pretty cool roleplay ideas could could happen in the future. Just for example, like we're driving through here, this gas station over to the right, it's not open, but the you know, pickup spot is, right? Somebody could work over there doing something, pretending that you work security like I did for the other live stream the other day, the other convoy. Just a bunch of different types of ideas. Helen says, Sim, what did I miss? Oh, there was somebody in here looking for you to give away $1 million, and you didn't make it back in time. Scatback says, question. Are these quick jobs you're doing? If so, with quick jobs, how are you able to keep the same truck? No, these are not quick jobs. These are just regular jobs. This is my truck that I bought. Matter of fact, we're going to check something here since we're owner-operator. Let me pull over here for a second. Put the brakes on. Yeah, it's our own truck, so that's kind of what I use for that. What I wanted to check was back here. See that house? I was wondering if we could pull into it, like if SES would let us pull into those houses, but now that traffic's here, I think I just probably should carry on with the job since we're in the role play thing. But I was like, I could kind of pretend maybe that's, a house or something. Was kind of thinking about it, but yeah, we'll just pretend that we're checking tires or something. We'll keep in mind that it's here. We'll get back on the road here. Yeah, so I think one day having a big open world in the simulator would be pretty cool. I've never see that big RV park out there. It'd be cool if you could pull in there too and park. It looks like they have it blocked off, but I wonder if you could pull in the grass and check it out. Man, where is that at? I need to keep that in mind. RV park outside of Lamar. And eventually, one day, when we have Interstate 40, when we have all of it that goes from East Coast to West Coast, I'd eventually like to just work like the Highway 40 only for a while and just be able to, do that all the way from East Coast to West Coast run. But then get into like routines and have like, okay, this is my favorite truck stop I like to pull in. This is the favorite rest area because it looks the best, or it has these things, or this is the favorite location I like to go to. The beautiful wifey comes in with a $5 super chat. The beautiful wifey, you don't have to donate money. Nobody has to donate money. What I'm doing here is free for you guys to consume. But if you do it, make sure you do it when you're only able to do it. I don't want you to spend your hard-earned money when you need it. I mean, I'm broke and I need money. I don't make much money doing this. But it doesn't mean I can't have a conscience, right? Thank you, beautiful wifey. Beautiful wifey. The $5 super chat. Scatpack says, I was watching someone stream the other day, and they had a New York City mod, and he drove from Texas to New York City. It was pretty cool. Nice. Yeah, all those types of things are going to be pretty cool. I like, just like doing this role play thing, man. Just like knowing that some people might not have even thought about that idea of like, oh yeah, I could just work for one company like a real trucker. You know what I mean? And I'm curious to see if like someone who started streaming, could they take like and work for a virtual company in the game and just base their own stream on that completely and just, you know, turn it into a thing? Be kind of cool. Scatpack said the Empire State Building looked kind of weird though. Yeah, I bet ATS is going to do a fantastic job with that. And I thought I heard them say something about like how hard it is going to be to incorporate a lot of things because New York City is so big, so to speak. And once again, shout out to the beautiful wifey. I have the best beautiful wifey in the world. Comes in here, hits us with the super chats. She's amazing. I'm her #1 fan. What's this sign say coming up here? Welcome to colorful Colorado. Oh, it's a nice shop you could pull off, take a picture at, right there at Colorado state line. All right, chat, we made it to Colorado. Get our headlights on here as the evening gets above us. I guess that makes sense, right? It does get dark. Okay, they are on. We have 155 miles to go, chat. Helen says, can't wait for a New York stream. I know, it's going to be fun, right? Let's take it easy through town here. Let's take it nice and easy. Helen says, Sim, you are the superhero. Ah, you're a superhero. It's quite beautiful through here. Wish we're coming through here more in the daytime, but you know, it looks like the evening hours are starting to be upon us. It's 6:30 in the evening here in the game as we make our way through. Man, look at this area. It's got it all, right? There's the Walbert. There's the police. Lamar City Limit. Welcome to Lamar. Yep, we're in Lamar, Colorado. Helen says Lamar. Yep. Take a nice slow through here. Now, why did it make us come through? We could have just went up to the next exit and turn. Maybe it's a different truck route or something. Helen says, have not been there in a long time. Helen says shortcut. I've been through there. It's been a while. Everybody's turning left. All kinds of different little companies through here, it looks like. And the one thing I like about working for, say, one company for a while is that makes it to where I don't have to, like, think about, okay, am I going to drive this truck today? Am I going to drive that truck today? Am I going to do this? I'm like, oh, I already know I have a job. This is what I do. So it's kind of like it's like building repetition for me as well. I'm using this method to also make myself stream more every day as well, because I want to stream more. And I thought, I need some inspiration. And I like watching a lot of these people who do like flight simulators and stuff. And I thought, man, some of these guys who do flight simulators who fly in real life, well, their real job is to fly. So they have like this separate, like they work for a company. And I'm like, I work for myself, and I thought, okay, well, I want to work for someone in the game. I'm like, oh, I get it. How am I going to bring the game to life? Oh, I'm going to get a job in the game and work for a company and become a company driver. So it's bringing some extra realism to the game for me in a unique way. Hope that makes sense. So just kind of, changing it up, if you will. All right, we're going to pull in here to this way station here, since we are in Colorado, the state that we are dropping off in. Now, see, I think the flow of just stopping at one of these really makes it better instead of all of them along the way. All right, that checked in. We're all good to go. We are out of here. Okay. Look clear. We're on the road again, chat. So after the way station check-in, 134 miles from our destination. Check our gauges. Temps 200. Front drive axle, temps looking good. Suspension load's good. Rear drive axle temps are good. And boost gauge is working. I should have checked that when we're on cruise control. We're also kind of going to do that too. As we're going along some of these longer drives, because a lot of these drives will be 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles coming up. But along the way, eventually we're going to check, our temperatures, just kind of make sure they're doing good, our air pressure, tire pressure, just like, you would do in real life. You make sure you monitor those and pay attention. But we're going to do it as like, as a community together. I'm gonna show you, we're gonna check them together. How many how many miles do you do on a truck before you change the oil in a big rig? Chat, let me know down there in the comments. Because right now we got about 600 miles on the truck, and I want to see, I want to keep up with the oil changes and stuff too. I'm gonna start writing that down. Be like, okay, it's getting close to time for an oil change, even though it might be virtually, it might not line up with what I do in real life in the game. But does it make sense? Like in the game, at for example, at 15,000 miles, the truck might not actually be ready for an oil change, but in our role playing thing, we're gonna do an oil change. You know what I mean? Type deal. Don't know why I have my turn signal on. Know where to turn. All right, looking good. There was also a new update on Microsoft Flight Simulator for those who play Flight Sim. And if you get a new update on that and you're doing the beta, make sure you uninstall and then reinstall to take best advantage of that. This is pretty exciting to know that this is my first. It's like, I tell you what this reminds me of, being that this is my first stream as a full-time driver for this company. This reminds me of like when you watch YouTube videos of people who are like, my first trip as a CDL driver, my first overnight in a trucking. That's kind of what this reminds me of in a sense, you know? Like, I really like the fact that I can be in the same truck with a roleplay idea. Scatback says conventional oil, 15 to 25,000 miles. Synthetic every 35 to 50,000. Now I got to figure out, I mean, it's a company truck. Are they going to be running synthetic? Look at this bus station, guys, here in Colorado. Ooh, look at this bus station. That looks different. Oh, yellow light. So I wonder, I mean, should we do the synthetic or are we going to do conventional? I mean, it's a company truck. Would they run? I guess they would run the cheapest, right? Scatback says, didn't mean to add more of a headache. No, it's not a headache. It's a cool thing. Scatback, while you're there, if you don't mind, see if you can look up like what Swift does. Does Swift run conventional oil changes or do they run a synthetic? Maybe, or what companies do that? Maybe there is something there about that, right? I'm gonna say we're gonna be a conventional oil. Just the fact that I do like the idea of stopping every 15,000 to 25,000 miles to change the oil. And it's gonna, and it can vary because mileage, just like today, we're putting about 800 miles on, but the next stream or the next day or a convoy one, it could be thousands of miles. So your oil changes could vary. And if I'm doing a convoy and it's time for me to hit that 15, 20,000 mark, I mean, I might have to do an oil change in the game, you know what I mean, in the convoy. But oil changes will only be done back at the office, right? So if it's time for an oil change, we got to get back to Caliber Motors and do it there. And I think there is a shop I can pull into, or a shop close by that we can actually sort of pull in and actually pretend to do an oil change. Actually, There is one. I gotta find that. The nighttime in the simulator is looking really good too, especially in the like mirrors. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's the new road textures or what. Let me do a mileage check-in. Chat, we got 56 miles, and after we get to this destination, that is where I'll be ending this live stream for today. But I might do another live stream tonight with some Flight Simulator if me and the beautiful wifey don't end up going somewhere for like dinner or something or whatever. I think we're gonna stay in. I'm not sure. I don't know what the plans are yet. And we do got to write down our mileage on the once we drop off this trailer, we got to write down what our ending mileage is. Scatback says Swift used 10W30 or FA4 oil, supplies it. Didn't specify synthetic or conventional. My guess, synthetic. Interesting. Helen says staying in tonight. Sounds good. Movie night? We'll pick up the ramp for the doggies, okay? Helen says yes. All right. And then whatever town we end in is when I come back for the next stream, the next trucking one, would be the is where we'll start from, sort of. You know, once we drop off this load, I'm going to pull the truck over to a parking area, either at the shop that we're dropping off, or somewhere around or on the side of the road. And we're going to put the flashers on, and we're going to pretend that's where we're sleeping for the evening, if you will. Or during the day, whichever it may be when we drop stuff off. And then some days when I stream, I might do 8-hour streams, you know, because who knows. But I want to keep up with mileage and fuel on the truck, you know. Scatpack says, scratch that, use synthetic or synthetic blend. Formula rather than purely conventional oils to allow for longer drain intervals. Okay. I can see that. It could save some money. Let's see, do we get off at this exit? Looks like we do, chat. Looks like we do. Man, almost the first drive in the books as a full-time Caliber Motors driver. And like I said, they got us in a new truck. Look at this bridge. This is fancy up in here. Metro Master says, keeping a driver log makes sense for this type of roleplay. I like that idea. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. And like, you know how you have games that have betas and you test things out? That's kind of what this simple notepad with the writing and the pen is. This is like a beta. I want to upgrade to an actual like binder, or since we have the tablet, guys, I mean, most things are like digital, right? Maybe I set up our tablet somewhere here and it's like the tablet you use in a truck to keep up with your log stuff and all that, and then we could just do it digital and I could show it right, like pull the tablet like right here and we just do all the stuff. Boom. You know what I mean? And maybe have like a paper backup for mileage and stuff, you know, in case the tablet goes down. All right, looks like we're pulling into our drop off here at Drake. Let's see, we're at first or second? Second entrance. Scat Pack says, I actually have an old driving logbook from when I went to truck driving school. I might dig it out and use your idea. Nice! And see, I was thinking you could go on the computer and make new copies of that and use, if you have a copier at home, and make a brand new book, but with SES companies on it. You know what I mean? All right, let's get our flashers on. We have made it to our first drop off. And I really went with that company truck type look, you know what I mean? All right, chat, don't let me forget to write down. Oh, you know what? I forgot to write down our starting time in game. And I need to write down our ending time in game. Sort of like keep up with hours or something, you know, if you will. All right, we're in reverse. Windows coming down. Watching the mirror there. And kind of like how a pilot keeps up with block time, you know, that's kind of what we're doing with that. Okay, look good there. And as a company driver, we want to try to get things, you know, looking pretty good, nice and straight. When we get here, you know, just because we're trying to represent the company. All right, we'll take you to the outside. All right, put it in neutral. Brakes coming on. And boom. Let's go ahead and get our ending mileage. Let's get that wrote down before we forget. We didn't get our starting mileage, which was 113. We have 715 on our ending mileage today. So we're gonna write down ending. We're gonna put M for mileage, as you can see there, and we're at 715. So our brand new truck has 715 miles on it. Let's see our fuel. Let's check our paperwork here. We got 7.9 miles to the gallon. So we're going to put down, we got 7.9 miles per gallon. So that's pretty good. Let's see. So we're about a half it. No, we're 3/4 of the tank of fuel. Everything looks pretty good there. All right, so we're going to go to the outside. We're going to have them. They can have the trailer. And boom. We've used 72 gallons, so we're going to write down that we used 72 gallons. We got 72 gallons used on this trip. All right, so that's a brand new truck at 715 miles, 7.9 miles to the gallon. I feel like that's good mileage. I feel like that's good average. So let's kind of keep up with that. Let's see, as the truck ages, do we get less mileage on that? We're going to find out. That being said, chat, I've had a fantastic time. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships. I appreciate the comments, and I can't wait to see you guys back here tomorrow with some more American Truck Simulator as I become a Caliber Motors driver. And we may even hit the old convoy up tomorrow for you guys that might want to join and hang out with me. How about a convoy Saturday tomorrow? Let's do that. We'll do a convoy tomorrow at some point. We'll hit up the American Truck Simulator. You guys can join me here, and we'll do another drive similar to what we're doing right now. I'm going to get the tunes on. We're going to get you out of here. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Where's the buttons? Boom. There we go. Music is coming on. Ending screen is coming on. Rock stars, we'll see you on the next one. Down, down. Rock it out with me. See you later, chat.